One, two,
Microphone
one,
check.
two.
1, 2.
Bibbidi boo.
Beam, beam, beam.
You're listening to Operator.
Hello, everybody.
I think is it on?
Yeah, just put the tune on, the little jingle. Now
a
we're
jingle?
online.
Yeah, you're on jingle?
I can't put it loud, but
Yeah, now it works.
we're live.
Can I close the door? Yeah, for sure. Perfect, everyone. Welcome to our third episode of Why Do You Care? We have very special guests with us today. Gabrielle, if you want to introduce them.
Yeah, we have Simon and Alesya here. Very special guests who I've met in the coffee place where I used to work. And I got a bit introduced to their world. But I want to find out more together with everyone who's listening. So we're here and are very curious about why do you care about what you do. So introduce yourself. What do you do?
Crazy. You start, no? You're oldest.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Alesya Dobysh. I am 36 years old, just turned. I'm a dancer, performer, choreographer, and all-around artist, maker, hustler, trying to make things work around art and dance-related practices. I live in Den Haag, in a beautiful city, with my husband Simon Bus.
And that's me.
Nice
Simon.
translation.
So I'm Simon Bus. I'm also a dancer and a choreographer and a little bit of a hustler, no? Little hustlepreneur. Yeah, that's it for now. I think we will find out more, no?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe for everyone who's new here, these two guys, you can't see Lo, but we are LonnyJoco. This is our radio show. Blah, blah. We do this.
Exactly.
We're hustlers, just as they are. Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Are we jumping into questions?
Yeah, let's just go for it to
Okay.
find out a bit more. So just so you know, it's going to be bit more relaxed. So we just want to know a bit more.
Yeah, we just worried a little bit because you have these notebooks with
No, we just put
with
it in.
stuff filled with questions,
closing.
and
We're
we
closing now.
didn't come prepared.
No,
but let's
that's
go.
The point. That's the nice part about it.
Let's go.
So maybe we start up all the way in the beginning, because you both said you're in the, let's say, dancing field surrounding it. So what made you decide to dance, or how did you come about it?
Okay, so for me it started like when I really like went for class, like dance classes, when I saw breakdance on TV, and it was Run DMC. It's like that. So that's when I saw breakdance, and then my neighbor he found a place where you could learn breakdance, and I was like, okay, please take me because I need
How
to learn.
old were you there?
I was 12. So that's in 2001. Yeah, in 2001. So then I went to breakdance class, and then I was hooked pretty fast. And then, like through breakdance, like that kind of changed my whole teenage years. It kind of, because then suddenly all my friends were only I only had breakdance friends, and then you start listening to different music and discovering different music. Because before it was just MTV, and then suddenly, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was also MTV first. So my parents got MTV pretty late, so I was 14 years old, but that changed my life.
Russia and
Yeah,
MTV in Russia.
back there in Russia. But then I saw all of those dances. I had no idea what is it, and I wanted to learn something and be cool as they are on TV. And the only more cool dance school that we had, it was actually a breakdance school, and I could take breaking classes there, and I also started with breaking. I got introduced very nicely actually to the culture, and I'm really grateful that was a start from that perspective, because through breaking you really learn more about hip hop, about all the elements of hip hop and music, appreciation of the music, of all the like history of music, jazz, funk. And then after that, I discovered other styles of dance and went on a journey of exploration.
And
yeah.
maybe it's also good to understand for the younger listener, like we're not super old, but like back then there was no Spotify or YouTube or any streaming service. So
yeah, there was no internet.
So
yet,
there was internet, but you had like for like when we had to like download music, we used like the first program I think we used was Napster. Like you had to download MP3s, you know. So then you would just like search for something, and then later I used SoulSeek, where you could find a little bit more obscure music for that time. Because like you're 12 years old and you don't know, you know.
I'm curious about what kind of stuff did you see on MTV? Like was it just what was it that the MTV showcased that inspired you? And then maybe
I think like for me, like in particular that music video that I saw from Run DMC, like what stuck with me was that you would see two crews battling. It was like a guy crew versus a girl crew, like somewhere in a parking lot. But for me it was the first time that I saw people doing acrobatic stuff, like dancing acrobatic, but they were dressed like normal. So they were dressed in either a tracksuit or jeans. So suddenly I had the feeling like, oh, this is something I could learn. Because before, if you would see like circus people doing something, it's like as a kid, it always felt like, oh, yeah, that's special people. You know, you have to go to circus school, and now you had like people that sort of dressed like in a way that you wanted to dress as a kid, and they were just doing it. So it gave you a bit the feeling, oh, I can learn this probably. And so in this period of time, so it's early 2000, I think breakdance, especially in Europe, it had a bit of a new wave, like a new generation. Like a lot of kids started to get into breakdance again, because it had, like, of course, in the 80s it had a am I still sorry? In the 80s, like it had a peak, and then it kind of died out because it got too popular, and then it became lame, and then some people in Europe, actually, especially in Germany, like B-Boy Storm, they kind of kept breakdancing without America being aware of it. And then suddenly, like a couple of years, I think in the 90s, American B-Boys saw what they were doing in Europe, and they were like, oh shit, like it's still alive, and it's even it's getting crazier. So then end of 90s, early 2000s, also with the coming of the internet, you know, where you can look up some stuff. It had like a second life, and I got like also really active on what's called discussion boards, like forums. Mm-hmm. So there was like bboyworld.com, you know, so you could chat.
How do I do this trick?
Yeah, there was like it was like the social media from back then. So you would just make an account, and then on these discussion boards you could people would share pictures and like. Yeah, nice. So that was
and for me, just shortly, I think it was Missy Elliott, this kind of artists, and they would always have a backup dancers, like amazing dancers. But there was also a dance show on MTV, a show WHYDOYOUCARE. It's some really, early 2000 style, and it's a competition, dance competition. On TV, it's one of the first, I think, like the commercial dance. And of course, there were lots of dancers that were a little bit more commercial. But through that, I eventually discovered about hip hop freestyle dancing, and then further on, going away from commercial side of it to more underground, to the battle scene, and then I discovered house dancing, and it's something that I picked up for a longer period of time. Yeah,
maybe it dives perfectly into our next
smooth
question. I think also the reason why we really wanted to invite you is, I think, not only from the things that I've seen, does it seem like you guys are amazing dancers, but also I think you guys have a really explorative style, and it's not really one way that you want to dance. And I think it's a very you thing, and that's also what this whole show is about artists that don't want to please. They want to please themselves in that way and just do what feels right. So do you maybe remember the time when you started to drift into your own world or discover your truth? Do you sort of remember when?
Yeah, like in a nutshell, like in short, like in the beginning, like when I was like 12 till 16 maybe, then I was really busy with learning how to break dance and really break. And then the older I got, because for me it was also a lot about gaining extra control of, you know, learning all these cool tricks. And then when I got to a certain level maybe or a mind state, I also then got more interested in actually letting go of all that control. So first I tried to gain a lot of control, and then after that, like, let go more. And then also with the coming, so like a little bit later in my life, there was YouTube. So then through YouTube, you got exposed to different styles and different stuff. And then there was like especially one video, like a Buto dancer. Yeah.
Buto is a underground Japanese modern dance from 50s.
Yeah. Okay. The YouTube algorithm showed it to me, and that was also like one of those moments where you were like, oh yeah, whoa. There's more. That's like one of the. I mean, there are different seeds, but that's one moment that was kind of like, well, what is this? I need to.
So it was almost also like a curious personality that you just have in yourself. That wanted to find rabbit holes of.
Yeah, yeah. I think as a dancer, as an artist, like if you're not curious, then
yeah.
But it doesn't happen with everyone. That's what I was also thinking. It's the curiosity that drives you further and next, and you're always looking for some next inspiration or some interesting ways of doing things. Because in dance, like what we do, there are also some things that are framed, like this is how you're supposed to do. But because it's not an academy or something, there is this spirit of rebellious spirit or explorative spirit in it, and not everyone goes into it because you have to find a new way. If there is someone already created this way, it's easier to follow that way. But if you have inside of you the urge for something new, you're gonna actually create the new way again. And for me, it was also just actually one of the YouTube algorithm. I found about a very underground dance movement from UK, jazz fusion, and because I've been always liking jazz music and a specific jazz aesthetic and movement, but it was always like very American, Broadway kind of style that I was using but twisting it a little bit. But there on YouTube I saw some videos from 80s and beginning of 90s of guys dancing in like casual outfit and in jeans with like super crazy fast jazz music. And I was like, what is that? That's what I want to do. And then I discovered that this kind of UK jazz fusion, very underground, so it never really went further and never really became super popular, only in Japan. But that's also something that kind of pushed me again beyond what I've been already doing, and I started to mix elements and mix sources, twist it, and continue exploring things. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to add on, because I kind of forgot now that I listened to you, I forgot one step like way before Buto, like within breakdance, because breakdance is like a subculture, but I was like quite early. I got interested in like a subculture subculture. So within breakdance, like in the early 2000s, there was like a wave of breakdancers who started dressing more like gothic punk style, and I sort of got attracted to that. So even within breakdance, there was always a bit of like a battle between like the more conservative b-boys who were like, no, you have to dance like this and you have to dress up in a certain way, you know, that's a b-boy way. And then I was a bit more in this punkish. It was like there were some American crews like Freak Show, and in Spain there was El Antihir, Extravagance crew. those were some crews I was inspired by. They were like dressing a bit weird, dancing weird, like not in a really b-boy way, and that fitted my personality more, I think.
Yeah, I'm also very curious because you said you were very inspired by different kind of styles, and you also both mentioned you kind of try to mix and merge things together. And I'm very curious because for us too, it's also, just as an example, we try to mix and match a lot of things together. And how do you go about that, and how do you try to express yourself through those movements? That's like very you and authentic.
Like what I do, I think I take a lot from things that I like, but I never really claim it. Like, I know it's good, but so for instance, when I found out about Buto, I didn't really like dove into it and said like, okay, now I'm gonna become a Buto dancer. I sort of take from the things what I like about it and mix it with what I already have, without getting stuck into this like, oh yeah, you have to do this to be a Buto dancer, or you have to do this to be a break dancer. I'm just like, okay, I like this from breakdance, I like this from Buto, I like this from contemporary dance, I like this from capoeira. I take what I like, and then I stir it in my own cooking pot.
Yeah, same for me. But I'm cooking a salad. Chopping different ingredients and mixing it. And we spend lots of time in the studio exploring, practicing, researching. It's also the key, actually. This is where the things appear, our own kitchen. You have to, you can think about, you have to just spend time, you have to get bored in the studio, you have to go to the studio when you don't feel like going to the studio, then things start happening. So it's also just a matter of a long breath. I could have quit dancing like years ago, saying like, I will never have a career as a dancer, because the first 10 years of my dance career, I didn't earn any money from it. I was just doing it because I liked it. And then at one point I realized like, oh, maybe I can do theater, and now I'm sort of living off dancing, which is ridiculous.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a long stretch.
Yeah.
And how do you, because maybe you answered it already, but I I'm thinking of the analogy of like, for example, us exploring our sound is going to the record shop, just taking records out that look interesting, or oh, maybe I know this label, or you just go through everything. Like when we dig, I go through prog rock to ambience to noise to disco, whatever, just whatever sounds good. But your exploration is almost so much more freer because it's literally limitless. Like we're in a spoiled position that we have artists do the work for us, and then we're just like, I like this, I don't like this. But for you, you are the creator and the presenter and the everything.
Yeah, but we are limited by our physicality and our body.
Yeah, which also can be improved. I saw this clip of you doing this one. I don't know if you remember that. The back flip, not the back flip, but like a back bridge, whatever. And that was like 60 tries.
Yeah, that's what we keep doing, and we. You want to reach that feeling that your body is completely limitless, but it's limited. So it's this endless desire that never gonna be fulfilled. And that's interesting part of that journey, where you can get frustrated, but you can also get excited about it, and it takes time and practice and time, like same as you are taking time to just keep exploring. It's almost like you are trying to explore the limit of sound, just discovering new things. Same as we are exploring our limits by discovering the moves and how we can execute them. And
and we're also now at this point in our career, we're getting to an interesting phase, because you turned 36 last week, I'm gonna turn 36 next month. That our bodies sort of, like the peak is over, you know. So now from now
Oh
on,
no,
things,
don't say
no,
it.
like things, you know, our body will change in a different way that things we might not pick up, or you know, we might lose a little bit of speed or recovery and stuff. So, but it also opens up again a lot
also
of
new pathways.
Yeah, like
new
it
ways
also.
of moving.
So instead of looking at, because for instance, with breakdance, I dealt with some shoulder injuries, and in the beginning I was really frustrated because I spent so much time in learning some moves, and then my shoulders were bad, and every time I would do those moves, my shoulders would just inflame. But after a lot of frustration, it forced me to also find new ways of dealing with my body, which I wouldn't have found if I had perfectly healthy shoulders. So thank you for my weak shoulders.
Yeah, I think those limits actually expands your mind.
Yeah, I also feel like sometimes those limits, those limitations kind of makes you more creative, maybe.
And they make you work.
Yeah, because you're not limitless, but you try to achieve it, and then you have like those small gaps where you can maybe try to push it. So I think that's also a very beautiful thing to have, I think.
I wanted to ask as well, because for me, or for us, I guess, when we have people on the dance floor, I think there's I think especially a lot of times people that are like, oh, I can't dance, I'm not a good dancer, and then they get shy about dancing. But at least in my opinion, there is no bad dancing. I think it's, for me, I don't want to give too much sauce away, but like it's limitless. It's just about expression and doing how you want to feel. But then also, you mentioned now the age and you being not able to move certain ways. How is it for you? What makes for you a good dancer? If you see a performance from someone, or just on the dance floor, and you're like, wow, this is beautiful, or this is maybe not so beautiful. What for you is like a thumb rule of great expression?
Yeah, I think I'm having something in my head. Yeah, but you can continue. I can drop it.
Well,
it's not yet formed, but I'm forming that. But I think like what actually interesting is that you can see a super skillful dancer like doing all the tricks, but it just does not land in your perception. You just somehow got bored from all this shabam happening.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is authenticity. So when people know how to express their authenticity, and it's actually one of also very, very difficult thing. So authentic mover for me is the good mover.
Yeah. I was gonna say actually the same. I would say like like if it's an honest expression, like you can be super technical, you can be super trained, but if I watch you and I have the feeling that it's just that, you know, and that it's not honest in a way, like it's hard to describe it. Yeah, and then because you say that there is no bad dancer, but yeah, I don't know, we can that's well, but like sometimes you see somebody and it's not necessarily good technique or anything, but it's so pure that that you just cannot stop looking at this person, you know?
I think what I meant with no bad dancers, as long as they are their authentic self and move the way they want to move. And I really believe more and more that it is really like a weirdly spiritual thing. Like
100%.
You can just see when someone is passionate and it's invisible. It's not even like facial expression or whatever. It's really interesting how it's not, it can be in a kitchen, it can be a DJ, it can be whatever. Somehow you can just see authenticity happening or truth being spoken, and it's so interesting how there's no matrix. It's just a feeling. But I agree.
I think that's also for instance, for me personally, when I was younger, when I just started breakdancing, when I would go to parties, people would always be like, "Oh yeah, let's," and I would be completely like, "Leave me alone," you know, like what do you? I think the older I got, the more like you get a little more confidence and just like, okay, fuck everybody, I'm just gonna dance here, you know, like dance how I want. But so it's also in what stage of your life you are, and some people get it really quick, you know, they don't give too much of a shit like early in life. But like for me, it also took some time before I actually got comfortable like dancing in a club or in a like not breakdancing, not performing. Yeah. So I don't know. You were always killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did the club style. That's
Yeah, we were also very curious because us both, we're also like, we love to dance to music, and we don't know any technique, nothing. And sometimes I see myself like dancing to jazz music. I'm just doing something, moving like crazy. And just what you said, like, what is the difference for you to dance as a performative act and in the club? Like, is there something different if you also listen to certain types of music, or do you just let go, or do you apply some styles? Like, how is it for you?
Yeah, actually different.
Yeah.
Also because I said, like, I've been into house dancing for a long period of time, and it's a club style, it's a club culture. It was born in the clubs, and I've been actively engaging myself in the within the club environment as well as a dancer, or just not a professional dancer, but just as a dancer. And then if I go perform in the theater or somewhere else, it's a different sensations. And now I feel like if I'm doing too much theaters, I really want to have that club moment for myself. And if I've been doing a lot of club things before, I was striving a little bit more for theater. It's a different timing, sense of space as well, how you connect. It's different, even though I do feel how these two things influence me, influence my perception of self within the environment. But it's the different sides of it, and I enjoy it a lot to be able to be deep in both of it. Yeah.
And I don't want to cut you off, Simon, but I think generally it's also, I would think that there's a bigger sense of, I never had it fully, but when I dance with my friends or with people that just dance nicely, it's more a sense of unity, and we're just expressing together and enjoying whatever is being created musically and whatever. And of course that's not nowadays not always the case on dance floors. 1 second.
Train.
Yeah,
But actually connecting with within the club scene, connecting with music 100%.
Yeah.
Music is so important.
Yeah.
In the theater performance environment, I quite often dance in silence. The idea of music changes at all. Like perception of sound and music is different than in the club, where I wanna there completely dissolve myself in the music, lose myself in the music. In the theater, I become a music. Kind of.
You become the art piece in a sense, or and do you find also yourself, I don't know how often you go clubbing, or not, I don't like the word clubbing, but dancing out into a club. Is there times, are you always dissolved into there, or do you also, with the crowd, with the sound system, with the venue, whatever it is, do you find yourself sometimes also being like not able to really dissolve into that world?
Yeah, that's why you're asking how often. Not so often because of that. Because, also getting older. I think in my 20s I didn't really care much. It was just that experience I needed. But now I have to be sure that it's going to be 100% good music, 100% good sound, that the floor is not going to be sticky because people pour beer on the floor, that it's going to be just enough space but not too much, so it's not that crowded. So now I go only, this event Summer Dance Forever in Amsterdam.
By KC.
KC, and there's a group of organizers. And there, for me, in Paradiso, in this main room, the sound system is perfect, the floor is perfect, there's enough space, always good curation, always dancers around. For me, this is just a perfect space. So I'm going there twice a year right now.
And the 26th of July.
And 26th of July, we'll go to. I got 2 tickets for me and you. Yeah. Maybe it's time for a commercial break.
No, we don't do that.
No, fuck that. I just wanted to
sneaked in one little commercial.
Real ones, no.
And we also touched a bit about like general the role of music like also how did music influence? Probably it influenced a lot your dance, but also maybe the other way around. How did your dancing influence your taste in music? So maybe like a two-way thing, because I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, like for me, I think like when I was breakdancing, it was mainly like in the battles and stuff. It was really about being on beat and being with the music, you know, and catching all the little e and the horn and the e and doing freeze on the e. And then when I got a little bit more free and in theater, I actually enjoy also a lot more. That's also maybe that's how I got a little bit more into ambient and stuff. To have more space, also to not be so restricted by always having to be in the rhythm, but also have a lot of space in between and the silence also. So now like in my theater work, I don't really dance to the music in a sense, like we're gonna pick a song and we're gonna stick to that rhythm. Mm-hmm. So
but our taste has been changing actually. It was like a journey of different kind of styles and music genres throughout all the years we've been dancing and exploring things. And Simon is also a vinyl collector. I just joined him a little bit. I'm investing sometimes. So music was always around us in different way. Either we dance to it or we just listen to it. And the preferences of styles and genres were transforming throughout the time as well.
Yeah, well said. I agree. I agree. You right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
It's a great answer.
No, it's nice to also hear how, because sometimes you also dance to no music. So this whole I don't know, I think exploration is just really interesting. And then also as a couple, I guess, you two, do you also have times where you sometimes shift differently? Or are you always in sync when musically?
No, actually not. I think we have some like we have our own worlds, and there's like a little overlap. Yeah, but I think because you have way more like club style influenced.
Club and jazz. That a bit of my side, and you are more.
Yeah, I came a little bit more from like when I was younger, like indie, bit rock, goth. You know, I was quite dark teenager. You know, like Depeche Mode, like synth pop. But
but it's also beautiful how we can exchange a little bit. I bring some jazz music and we listen to it, or you have your own vinyls also.
Because I did like when we started dating, I didn't really have jazz. I like a lot of jazz records, not any of the classics. You know, I had some Chet Baker, easy listening stuff. But I got to know a bit more through her about broken beat, jazz.
And did you ever put that into your performances, or did you ever have a moment where you tried it out to perform to?
Oh yeah, you have some great videos of me dancing on
only private videos.
Private, just in the studio. I mean, I because we're in the studio together, so then sometimes like I want to play music, and then
how does it feel to dance to something that's so new in your world, or like apart from the goth or whatever you play? I don't know, but you know what I mean, just to something fresh.
Yeah, but it's always good, and even with it's even my own music, I always try to find fresh stuff. I always have like these phases, like okay, now I'm listening to this, but it's not like I've been listening to some music already for the for my whole breakdance career. I don't really go back to, like, sometimes I have like a mood, like, oh yeah, let's practice to the stuff I was practicing back in 2005. Like when you're feeling a bit nostalgic or something. But it's also nice that music throughout your life, like different music reminds you of different eras in your life. Sometimes you hear a song, and then suddenly you're 16 again.
First relationship,
like in your bedroom,
right?
Teenage angst, So that's so So now what I'm listening to now, like in 5 years, when I will listen, it will be, Oh yeah, that's the time
Yeah.
when we.
Nice.
But what's interesting is actually I think it's most of the time it's music from the past
Mm-hmm.
that we are listening to. Like I'm really, since I went into, I mean maybe not that much for you, but since I started to discover hip hop and all of these things, I went in the past and I never returned. So I really missed all the new trends, new releases, so new things that happening, because there's always so much there.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Let's say from 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Kind of like I'm
So
always
much
there.
to
I'm
do,
always in
yeah.
the past, and it does feel a bit like nostalgic. Even so, I have never been have been living in those eras like 80s or 70s. But I'm most attracted to those music that I was not
Same
yet
for us.
born.
Yeah. It's interesting. But
Yeah.
for us, like, we often talk about when people ask us what do we play. Yeah, we play soulful stuff. So I think that soul really comes across from like the music from the past.
Yeah, but it also, I always struggle with talking about it because
Yeah.
there's everything is influenced by everything.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
everything is connected, you know. And then if you ask what genre do you play, what does that
Doesn't matter.
mean? Like, you know, if you say I play funk, that means that you play jazz. That means that you play hip hop. That means, so it doesn't really, you know, what is the past? It's a bit like, I don't know. It's a
Yeah, but I'm talking more like
Yeah.
what was released, and of course,
Yeah,
like there
yeah,
are
of
also lots of
course.
crazy
Fine.
new releases and stuff, but still the attraction goes a
Yeah.
bit towards the
Yeah, I get that.
old school.
yeah.
Yeah, also before we maybe jump into the mix to present some of your music, maybe we both probably have some questions, but I mean, I'm curious, like, what do you try to, we talk a lot about expression, being authentic, and what do you want to express in your maybe performances or in your dance? Like, is there like, you just want to express yourself, or do you want to have like a key message to give to people, or?
Like for me, like dance has always, for me, it was always mainly like a thing for myself, kind of like my own sort of therapy-ish. And then when I started performing, it's kind of still in a way. And then what people read into it, they can read into it. You know, if they saw something in it which they find beautiful or not beautiful or ugly, or you know, that's up to them. So I personally don't have like a world changing political statement with my dance, like, hey, I'm gonna end the war with this performance. No, it's really personal, and then I put it out there, and if it gives something to 5 people in the audience, if it touches them in a way on their own personal level, then I'm happy, you know. That's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question in a way that I always like been asked, and you quite often just also like contemplate about it, because I feel like if I do a performance, a dance, and to assume that what I'm doing with my dancing that gonna deliver certain things like to all of this like 150 people, it feels a little bit arrogant in a way to think like this. Maybe like too important. Even so, of course, we do live out of it, and people come to see us.
Like this festival in Mexico.
Hey, yeah,
No, but you were in front of a lot of people.
yeah. But I've been teaching in front of a lot of people. Teaching is a bit of a different.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But like what I like, for example, looking at Simon, what I think you can inspire people just also be there, like discover their authenticity, because when they're looking at this crooked, twisted body expressing itself in a full, it's touching, and you don't even understand sometimes. It's really on a visceral level, like that. It just gets inside of you, and it gets inside of your body, not inside of your head. And I think that's the dance purpose, to connect more with the body than with the head, because otherwise we can write, we can write articles, we can talk about stuff, but dancing is less brain work.
Yeah. It's like
Not that it's stupid, but
no,
it
it's
is
agree with,
actually.
like if you want to get a statement out there, you have to think, okay, which language am I going to use?
Yeah.
And I think the language of dance, like with dance, you can sort of express some things that you find difficult expressing in language. So if you just want to make a clear statement on something, then use language. Like I don't have to do a crazy dance to tell you that I wanna that I hate climate change. So I think sometimes artists can think a little bit more like, okay, is this the right medium to get my message across in an honest way? And I think dance for me, it always feels more like about the inner world.
And we need more of inner worlds.
Yeah.
And we need empathy for inner worlds. Understanding.
I think that we were talking before, right in the beginning, about people who don't explore, who find a comfortable world and then just stay in this comfortable world. And I think that's the mistake, because that's more than a people-pleasing situation and more of a, there's these rules and I'm just gonna follow them. Then what are you saying? You're just saying what the rules are saying. But I completely agree.
I think also because like dance is like one of the first things that humans also did. Like I also read about it, like dance been around forever.
Yeah.
Like before probably even talking, like you see all those things at the stone wall, those certain dances, and like you both mentioned, I don't think there is a certain finger that you can put on it. It's just there in a way.
And we just forget. It's how we connect with our body, and we just forgetting it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if there's like a raw art form, but like for music, sometimes you need instruments. You can do it with something else, but dancing is like almost anyone can do it.
And therapeutic, like for me at least.
Yeah.
Like even if we
not for everyone, but
play music, you just let go of everything and just totally in it.
I think it's also really letting go. I watched a dance performance 2 weeks ago, and it was the same for me. I really had to let go to let it come to me. I was thinking in a very technical term in the beginning, thinking like, oh, what are they doing? But only later did I find out or understood that it's just about, what does this make me feel? And there's not really a theoretical line or a story that is actually in sentences. It's just about an emotional output and then just whatever they're feeling. So I'm starting to get it. But
it's not easy. And
I mean,
people,
we still don't get it. Huh?
We don't get it also, and lots of confusions, misunderstanding.
Just grasping.
But as long as you're truthful, that's
we're still figuring things out, and we're gonna keep figuring things out.
Yeah,
that's
I think maybe if you at one point you'll get it, you actually didn't get it. You didn't got it. If you think you got it, you didn't get it.
If you
you're like 10%.
It's in all art forms like this. Yeah. And if you got it, you're probably gonna quit it.
But I think that's also the mentality that you, I think, should have if you really love it.
Yeah.
There is always more. It's never ending. There's always a bit more to it. I think that makes it also exciting and fun.
And then, if you get it, then you're just gonna explore the next rabbit hole. And
exactly.
Final question. Should we do it together at the same time? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Why do you care?
Care.
Well, then first we have to understand: do I care? Not why do I care? Do I care?
Yeah.
Do you care?
Let's start there.
No, I care sort of. Depends on what. But why do I care? Shit.
It's mostly around the boundaries of just why do you do this?
Yeah.
Why is your brain constantly in this world?
Yeah. I don't want to.
I'm picking it up. I'm thinking.
It's not an easy question.
It almost such a profound question in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I live that life like this. I just cannot do differently. I care. That's the foundation of things. I care about everything that I do. I care about my time. I care about people who surround me. I care about what I listen to, what I wear, what I eat, what I consume. And it's just the way how I can experience this life. Probably I chose to experience this life in caring way. And maybe that's the way I am, to continue care of things. I didn't really answer why.
No, but
No, but
that doesn't need to be like a definite answer.
Yeah.
It's for us actually the same.
Yeah, I think for me, I care because I think this is the only life that I would like to live life. Like I think from very young on, I realized I didn't want to do certain things in life, and I did want to create. And so because I didn't go to dance school, I went to art school because I thought I was gonna create art, visual art, but in the end I ended up dancing, and now I also think it's all more or less the same thing. But yeah, I care because I wouldn't want to live. I want to live my life like this, and so I have to do my best that I can live my life like this. Like I said, because it's a very good situation to be able to live off of it, which I don't take for granted. But so I have to care, because if I stop caring, then I won't be able to live off of it anymore, and then I don't live the life that I want to live. So that's why I care.
Nice.
Beautiful. Amazing. Thank you so much.
And why do you care?
Yeah, why do you care actually?
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just we picked it up, we experienced certain things, got introduced. Same as you, very beautiful in the subculture. Actually, like triple subculture with this whole vinyl thing and whatever. And it was just like, this is what we do. There's no. I can only speak for myself. Lou, you can do your thing. But
yeah,
it's just I've always wanted to do music since I was a kid. I used to do like produce music and do like King Cruel type of sad boy music. Yeah, but then I got into dancing, and I think what's also very special, it allows me to express things that there's no other way to express things. And it's just an output. It's like the secret output that for me it just feels plus extra special, and it's indescribable what it can make you feel. Just like playing a nice track, and it's like I feel it like behind my ears. There's like a tension. It's like and that's indescribable.
It's like this brain goosebump, no?
Yeah.
I have it a bit similar. Just for me, it was a bit different because I was always around music, but my parents didn't grow up musically, or also because I'm a bit from a smaller town. So I was always into sports, and also like you, creating. Like my grandpa built his own house, so I like to see things come to life, and I was always around. And then for me, it just came later to being introduced to it, and something just clicked, just made sense. And I wake up like every morning thinking about like a new song, or how does it make me feel, how does it make other people feel. And it's not just the music itself, but it's like everything around it. Like everything around it makes sense. Like you share music with others that share the same passion, you have great conversations, you have nice evenings, and it doesn't have to be a lot. There can just be sound, yourself even, and others, but you really connect with yourself, because I think everyone experienced the same thing already, maybe. Like that's how I see it. And like some artists made music maybe for a certain purpose, and I maybe reinterpret it in some way, but it makes me feel certain things that I didn't felt before. And yeah, for me it's just very special to then also share it. And also regarding like the mixing, like the actual mixing, for me it's also very therapeutic in a sense, because you get into that certain flow state. Like I had it a lot when I did sports. You just super, yeah, you forget time, you forget who you are, you just like so in it and forget everything else. And I think it's super, super beautiful.
Yeah. And then also, like you said, Simon, this feeling that you have is, even if you have no matter how many people in the crowd, if like 5 people go home and they're like, this was such a good night, and they go home with a smile, not fucked up, not on drugs, whatever, just go home with a smile and maybe even remember a song. That's like all you want in life, you know?
Euphoric. Sometimes I come back from the club experience feeling euphoric, and this is so rare but so beautiful.
It's also a good excuse to spend like 100 euros on a record, because you're like, people are gonna feel good about it. Yeah.
But it makes you feel alive in some sense.
Yeah. Enough talking.
Let's hear some music from you.
Play some records.
Yeah.
We actually we picked some records that a little bit more connected with, because we have a variety of genres, more or less connected with different dance practices that we had throughout the times.
You can also, after each track, talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we can do like this.
How much time we have?
How much time we have?
Yeah, 1 hour or so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let's see like how we're gonna...
So we're not gonna play 0 records, you're gonna do the whole show now.
yeah, let's see how we go. But we're gonna start with one of the breaking classic. And Simon and I, we went completely, like I was in breaking in Russia and he was breaking in the south of the Netherlands.
I wanna use this mic while you need both hands.
Yeah, Simon gonna put it on. And there's this one song, I mean, you probably all know.
Classic.
It's a classic. But yeah, it's a classic also within the dance community.
It's a breakdance anthem.
Yeah, it's an anthem, and it's like this forever song. So we're gonna start with this one to come in a little bit more back to our dance background.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
it's on channel 1, I think, right? Just make sure the bass is back in.
You're listening to Operator.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination, though you may find from time to time complication. And take the trip. Though there may be wet road ahead and you cannot slip, just move on up. For peace you'll find into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush now, child, and don't cry. Might understand you by and breaking, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey rumors people say, but you can pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it. Just move on up. Move on up. We move on up. Watch out, we just move on up. We move on up. Move on up.
jazz. And I'm gonna continue a little bit further with the fast.
Again, sorry.
There was a little. A little technical issue. I'm going to repeat myself. So I just played John Coltrane's Giant Steps. It's one of my favorite tracks to dance jazz, and I'm going to continue with a little bit same fast tempo, and I'm going to play Weather Report track. Weather Report is the band, a classic jazz fusion band. It's also a classic track for UK jazz dancing. Also very quick and very challenging for footwork, but one of my favorite as well. Enjoy. The last track you've heard right now was from Sami Hon. Sami is a Netherlands-based Korean drummer, amazing performer and artist. So I really recommend you to check her out, to follow her gigs. We had a chance to perform with her live as well, improvisation. This is how we learn about her, and it's beautiful to witness such a talent killing the stage. Now Simon will continue a little bit sharing his tunes as well. Yeah.
Yeah. First tune will just be it's a rock and roll track, but it's there's a break in there that was very popular when I was breakdancing. Just give it a listen. It's it's what I practiced to back in 2004.
The future's here, said the pioneer. There's room at the top. Do up, do up. Whatever comes tomorrow happened yesterday. Come with us, the future's here to stay. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us. All the radon daughters wonder what they taught us. Making up our status, that's our only traitors. Whatever comes tomorrow happened yesterday. Come with us, come with us. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us. Dance with us until your head is spent. Work it out until the late event. Come with us, dance with us. Come with us, romance with us. The future's here, said the pioneer. There's room at the top. Do up, do up. Whatever comes tomorrow happened yesterday. Come with us, the future's here to stay. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us. We're the devil's dancers, swinging all the answers. Dance with us, dance with us.
Your eyes are set and stunned, you're hotter than the sun. I love to see you shine, 'cause you really blow my mind. Your heart beats like a drum, it hammers when you come to terms with you and me. Our love will set us free. Synthesize me, hypnotize me. Humanize me, energize me, synthesize me, hypnotize me, humanize me, energize me. Your eyes are set and stunned, you're hotter than the sun. I love to see you shine, 'cause you really blow my mind. Your heart beats like a drum, it hammers when you come to terms with you and me. Our love will set us free. Synthesize me, hypnotize me. Humanize me, energize me, synthesize me, hypnotize me, humanize me, energize me. I've seen the rings of Saturn and the craters on the moon, oceans of Venus in the middle of June. Mirrors of Mercury and Mars, electric sky. Pearls of Neptune and Jupiter's eyes. I've heard the old man who plays the lake. Amazing things make you wanna shake. A strange planet a zillion light years away. Through a black hole across the Milky Way. Synthesize me, hypnotize me, humanize me, energize me. Synthesize me, hypnotize me, humanize me, energize me. Don't patronize me, don't glamorize me, don't paralyze me. You can surprise me, harmonize me, mesmerize me. Solarize me, synchronize me, synthesize me.
We are finishing a second chapter, or third chapter of our playing, and there was some electronics that Simon and I enjoying to dance to when we are cooking, chilling in our house, vibing in at our kitchen. So basically our favorites. We played DMX Crew, then we played Kraftwerk, Oppenheimer Analyzes, and the last banger was the Space Lady Synthesize Me. And now we're gonna move on to the next chapter. There are dancers we work with or we are sharing the same scene that are also incredible musicians and music producers, and we would like to share a couple of the songs from them. Simon will introduce the first one.
Yes, the first one will be Enes Dos. I think people from the dance scene will probably know him as Kudes. Amazing dancer. If you know, you know that he was well ahead of his time back in the early Just Debout battles. Look him up. I think it's still on YouTube. Kudes. Also amazing artist in general, and this is his album Intuition Volume 1. There's also Volume 2, and we're gonna listen to Distraction.
Yes, and the next song we're gonna listen to will be by
Kudes. Lugova first.
No. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, misunderstanding.
So now, we're gonna introduce two artists.
We're gonna do
currently.
Okay. So there's gonna be no break. Okay, so first Kudes, and then Lugov. Lugov is also amazing b-boy from the Netherlands, and like him and his brothers are also producers, DJs. You probably know DJ Nobunaga. And Lugov, he makes beats, and if you seen him at an event, you know who he is. He always goes crazy to music that he likes. He's always standing close to the speaker, going absolutely berserk as soon as there's a tune that he loves. You will probably look at him more than the dancer. So that's going to be the second track. But first, Kudes. There we go. Boom.
So if you have opportunity, check those artists out. Amazing dancers, ahead of their time, but also amazing artists as well. So now we're going to move on to our last chapter of music sharing, and we want to soothe your soul a little bit with some ambient music, because now we also in our ambient era. We listen to a lot of ambient music and also collect vinyls. We're going to start with Brian Eno, classic, and move on with some other tracks from other artists. In the end, we will share with you what we were playing.
花のように仰向けだった君のその骨と肉と髪の毛を使って楽器を作って窓のそばで奏でてみよう眺めるんじゃなくて海の中から首を出して暮れてゆく町や山脈を眺めていたい7つの海よ6つの大陸よ7対6で今夜も海の勝ちだね行ったり来たりする船よ行ったきり帰ってこない船はびくともしない海の底のドロドロよ海で暮らしたいね目を閉じると寄せる波黒猫色にふやけてゆく渚海で暮らしたいここから海を眺めるんじゃなくて海の中から首を出して暮れてゆく町や山脈を眺めていたい7つの海よ6つの大陸よ7対6で今夜も海の勝ちだね行ったり来たりする船よ行ったきり帰ってこない
船よBeautiful.
First of all, I wanna thank you guys so much for joining our journey in this radio show and sharing so much.
Yeah, really thank you.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful also that you so openly shared your feelings and thoughts with us.
Through
we really
words and
appreciate it.
music.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Of
was
course,
special.
thanks for having us. It was a pleasure to be confined in this small box and just talk about art and music and listen to some good music. So it was a good time.
I wish to be a bit longer listening part, but there will be another time for sure. And be sure to check the two out for sure.
Yes, check them out. Go everywhere. Dance with them.
Yeah, because we're going to be dancing on the 26th.
On 26th of July, I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen on the beach in the
Just go to the beach. You'll hear it bumping.
Yeah, just go somewhere
LonnyJoco.
and try to listen. follow the sounds, the vibration.
Yeah.
Okay, but thanks for listening in, everyone, and see you
next time.
Peace out.
Bye.
You're listening to Operator.